So one thing we look at when we're talking about motor patterning, especially with throwing a baseball, is trying to get guys out of their most natural environment to make corrections or changes. So the worst place to try to change something in a baseball throwing motion is on the mound. If they're going through their delivery, they've probably been pitching since they were 5, 6, 8 years old, and now they're 15 to 25, however old. They've done thousands of reps on the mound, and that's also the most complex and dynamic area where they perform. So in their mind, it's a higher stress environment, and they're going to be most likely to do whatever comes natural to them. So we want to get them off the mound, and I even like getting a ball out of their hand. This is where it's good, even if you have like a plyo ball or something that is a little bit of a weighted ball, it's at least different than a baseball. So for me, I'm not good at golf. I'm okay swinging a golf club. You put the white ball down there, I tense up. So the further we can get away from that and practice without a baseball in our hand and something different, the better the changes should take place, or at least it's a really good place to start so that the athlete can feel the changes. So for something like arm action changes, one thing that we've seen recently that I've been looking at a lot of guys, and I haven't seen any high-level throwers do this and really succeed with it, and I believe it puts you at a higher chance of injury, is when you separate from the glove and your hand rotates backwards, and this usually leads to also kind of called digging behind the body. So usually it separates and the hand rotates in and goes backwards. So this is putting you into a internally rotated position. It's going to give you a better chance to lead with the elbow going up. So we're going to usually have the arm behind, and then the arm's going to be late. We're going to put more stress on the arm as we come through, and we're going to lose velocity because the sequencing's off. So again, there are some people that can probably get back here and then get on time. It's just a much more difficult move. So if we're working with someone that's in high school, coming up 8th grade, for instance, up through high school, or someone that's not an extremely high level thrower, then we want to make sure that we can fix these things in the quickest way possible. So something like an Indian club or a tennis racket I have here are two devices that we would use to start this process. So one thing we would do is just put the wrong foot forward with a tennis racket or whatever, it could be even a stick, and then we're going to work on being able to separate the hands and feel the hand come back and down more away from the body. So here, if I go to internally rotate and dig, I hit myself. So even just starting here and feeling this motion, I'm going to swing my arm backwards, start the scap load, and set my hand above my elbow. If I drop this tennis racket down, I'm going to feel it instantly. Where if you have a ball in your hand and they've done that 30,000 times in their life, they're not going to feel it. So we're going to put an object in their hand where it blocks them, so we have more of a constraint and gives them more of a feel of the arm swing coming out of the glove that we want. Now, with arm swings, you watch a big league game, you see 10 different pitchers, you see 10 different arm swings. We're not trying to cookie cut that. You have someone like Giolito or Bauer who's more here and then up, super short, almost like a catcher. And then you have other guys that are much longer and looser with it. A lot of guys are successful both ways. So we're not cookie cutting that, but what we're trying to fix is just feel, the athlete feel to get out of this position. One thing Chad Longworth said about hitting that I really like is he wants to work on the hitter load and get him in a good position here and then let them do the rest out in front. He worries more about the setup and the load than what goes on through the swing. That's much the same. It's really hard to tell a pitcher if they're here what to do from here through. But we want to set them up for the best chance of success. So try using some random object to start off with some type of wrong foot throw forward so that they can feel that arm swing and be nice and loose with it without having a ball in their hand. And that should give them the best chance of changing their takeaway.